Good evening. There's an old story that most or probably all of y'all heard before. There was an older man and a younger man at the top of a hill. Down the hill was 20 of the prettiest women they ever seen in their lives. The young man said, "Let's run down the hill and let's do one of them." The older man said, "Why run down the hill and do one when we could walk down the hill and do them all?" It's an old story that probably makes sense to some, probably don't make sense to some. I don't know, but it was a story, an old folk tale once told. I say that because if you look at Tim Norman, right, he was at the top of the hill, and down the hill was many riches. But what Tim did was he ran down the hill to count some of the coins, whereas if he listened to his mother, probably one and a few others, if he'd have walked down that same hill, he could have counted all the chips. There was so much money at the end of the rainbow for Tim Norman that if he did it right, he would not had to harm his nephew. And there's no excuse, no excuse. If Tim was smart, he could have schooled Dre and Charles, and they could have started something. They could have probably ventured off and did their own thing, but they would have learned a lot from Tim. Because Tim wasn't no dummy. Tim is not a dummy by no means. Tim is a very smart person. He was the one that got Sweetie Pies on OWN, as we all probably know by now. If Tim would have just took his time, because the money wasn't going nowhere, he had a beautiful fiance. Even if they couldn't have made it, he could have got somebody else. But it was understood in my eyes that he was in love with Janae Wallet. Shivers now. Sometimes you're at the top of the hill, the woman should be the least of your worries. Even if you have a son from her. You learn as you get older though. You know, when you're young, you want to hold on to the young lady as much as you can. But when you get older, you learn. Sometimes you have to do without her. Y'all remain friends. You take care of your child, and you be all right. Tim could have schooled Dre. I doubt if Miss Robbie would have left Dre half and left Tim the other half. Tim was too business minded to split their empire down the middle. She could have gave Dre enough where he could have started his family off in Texas, and Tim could have had about 3 stores, and he would have manned all of them. Whether he went to Cali, he didn't even have to go to Cali when he went. See, if he'd have did everything smart, he'd have stayed home for a while and then ventured off slowly but surely, and then ended up where he was going. If Tim would have only schooled Dre, he wouldn't be in the situation that he's in now. But he didn't have a relationship with his older brother, but this was his chance to have a relationship with somebody that his older brother left behind, his own son. He could have schooled that son. You got him and Charles. Yeah, you're going to yell at them two have you laughing, have you upset sometimes, have your stomach hurting, boy. You know, sometimes, they was young and they was, like, I wouldn't say knuckleheads. Rest in peace, Dre. They was young, you know what I'm saying? They was a little silly at times, but they wasn't in the street robbing and stealing and killing. Something that Tim was doing when he was 17, just like them. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't say killing, but robbing and stealing. He got caught. He went to jail. He did his 10.5 years. He came home. Came home to a pot of gold, man. So what you do to the young, because all of y'all got one thing in common. Y'all protect the queen. That's one thing y'all all had in common. Y'all protect the queen, which is Miss Robbie, and she gonna lay everything out where y'all could carry on. Even say if she did it while she was still alive, which Tim was doing his own thing. You know what I'm saying? All Tim had to do was the right thing. He could have schooled them young kids, man, and then he could have just fell back and let the chips fall his way. The money just fall his way. He ain't even have to break a damn sweat. Like I said, it's a shame that it ended up the way it did. Because if he was just a little bit like for him to be that smart, if he could have been a little bit smarter, he was worth 500,000 when he got locked up. He'd have been worth a few million now, 2, 3, 4 million. He had it. He had it in his lap. Murder was not the way to excel in his business. The intelligence he brought into the business. You know what I'm saying? He was fear but firm. That attitude he brought in that business would have carried him a long way. He'd have pissed a couple of people off, but he had it on lock, and his mother made sure of it. When his mother spoke to them workers, when she got on them, he was standing right behind them. So he was in position. He was where he should have been, right behind his mama. Let his mama call the shots. Because one day it's going to be him calling them shots. If he was only that smart, taking Dre life was not the way to excel. That's your nephew. That was not the way to excel in the Sweetie Pie's business. Y'all took over everything. The food business. I mean, instead of going to California been coming to y'all. I'm from New York. I came to y'all. A lot of people got on planes, trains, buses, cars, and they came to y'all. I stood on that long line outside that restaurant. That was a long damn line. So instead of running down the hill to take all the money, he could have walked down the hill and counted the money piece by piece, and he would have still added up to the chips that he would have been worth now. This is the Nard father. You know, Sweetie Pies is and was a great food chain. I don't know how people look at it now. They had it going on. Probably still do. But they had it going on. They had it popping. And with a few smart moves, like keeping your nephew alive, y'all have been on top of the world, man. This is the Nard father. I'm out. Peace.